Yeah, have some coffee in here. And now there's no alcohol in this, right?
There is.
There's so what alcohol's in here?
That is whiskey.
So this is just extra whiskey.
That's just extra whiskey, yeah, because it's a peanut butter whiskey.
Yeah,
You got to
yeah.
taste the flavor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Taste the flavor.
Are we live yet?
We're live.
All right. We're going to taste some peanut butter whiskey. Each one of us has the peanut butter whiskey. And here we go. 3, 2, 1, down the old hatch.
Give it a sip.
Oof.
The peanut butter scent is very strong, and the taste is actually, whoa.
Gets into the nose a little bit.
A lot into the nose. That's actually pretty good.
It is good. Syrupy.
It's super dangerous, you know? When shit like that is like good.
Mm-hmm.
Man, if
Like, damn, that's good. Next thing you know, pants are off.
Yeah.
yeah.
Woo.
That's pretty good.
Let me,
Oh my God.
I don't know why this just came to mind, but I have sex about 4 times a week.
Hey, no.
That is
Congratulations.
fucking awesome.
Pretty
That's
for
really
being
good.
married for a long time.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
really good. The amount of people I hear that are like, I'm married, I only have sex once every 2 weeks. I'm just like, how are you living?
Yeah, or when you say you're going to get married and some dudes will be like, well, have fun having sex once a month or whatever. Like, no. No way.
All right. You know what? I think that's a very important thing that you just said. How have y'all kept the spark? Hey, and you add in too, Andrew, because I feel like it's slanging out here. So, so yeah, what's the trick to keep that going while you're married?
Man, you know, my wife, you know, she puts a lot of time into staying in good shape. And I think that's super attractive. So there's never been times where I've been like unattracted to her.
Yeah.
There's been times, of course, where we didn't have sex 4 times, 4 times. I mean, through pregnancy, through, various illnesses that I get or she gets or injuries, maybe a sex injury here or there. So there's definitely been times where there's like been a little bit of a break. Mm-hmm. And there's times where you don't, you still love each other, but there's time where you're frustrated with one another and there's a little less of that going on. But yeah, I think the key is just, really good communication level,
Yeah. Okay. We're going to come back to that because you brought something up. You said injury. And there's, I think it's this because I never thought I would say this. So y'all remember how I tore my meniscus? Do you know where I'm going here?
Yeah.
All right.
Dude, I've had some real serious injuries from sex before.
Nah, but this is the thing. For years, people ask, how'd you tear your meniscus? I'm like, jujitsu. And
You fucking liar.
And it was a form of jujitsu, but not what people are used to seeing.
yeah, the initial tear did happen at jujitsu. I remember I was rolling with Jack, and he did something to me. I was a white belt, and I just heard a little thing in the knee, and I was like, shit, man, that sucks. A few weeks go by, I got an MRI. The doctor, he didn't let me get an MRI. I'm like, give me an MRI. There's something wrong. He didn't give it to me. I was like, God dang it, man. Like something's wrong here. Well, that night, I remember I told you, I told you that it just happened at jujitsu, but nah. This is I was on my knees, doing what you do, right? And then when I get up, I hear this, ouch, and then I'm just standing there like, nah, this, God, really? like, like, really, dude? This is right here is
From
how
this?
you, really? Like, and then, I tore my meniscus.
Did you
man? Like,
did you come out of the game?
Come out of the game?
Or did you still play?
Yeah.
No, I was done. I was
That's the worst.
I couldn't keep playing. I was done.
Yeah.
Those injuries are real, man. They happen.
After leg day, I have had the worst hamstring cramps
Oh,
of
God.
my life.
That's why you have electrolytes before you do. Because I've had that happen before.
We've had to call timeout. Like, can you please go get me some electrolytes? Like, I need some element in my life right now.
A leg cramp is a good excuse. Like if something happens a little earlier than you'd like, like, whoa, the hammy, whoa. Oh, hard leg workout today.
You're not supposed to tell.
Like 6 seconds into it. It's my hamstring.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
Incredible. For us, so we've been together almost 10 years now.
Damn.
Yeah, it sounds weird, but like, you know, like when I hear dudes saying like, I don't know, they need to look at another chick to get off, or like they need to fantasize about that. Like, for me, no, like this is a weird word to use, but like I crave my wife. Like it's something that I'm like
Stephanie, what are you doing over there?
That's what, but I have no. Well, I mean, I know I just took a shot, so I guess I'll say I have no shame. But like, I have no problem with telling my wife and truly believing that she is the hottest girl I've ever met in my entire life. Like hands down, I get to go home to that every day. Like this is fucking incredible. I text her right before I walked into the office, something that I can't say right now that I wanted to do to her when I got home.
Wait a second.
But
Andrew.
This isn't something that happens every once in a while. This is just what we do. And like eventually it can be like, okay, I love you too. But for the most part, it's always like, oh shit, like, all right, well, hurry home. You know, so like I do things like that all the time. And that's like, there's never been a dry spell.
Nothing quite like sending out a text message and then getting a reply back. Hey, I think you forgot to take out the garbage.
Yeah.
You're like, what the in the fuck?
So, yeah. If you're on the receiving end, don't do that shit.
At least send a wet emoji thingy first, and then say, "Hey, motherfucker, you forgot to take out the garbage."
Yeah.
Nah, but
Oh my God.
you know, that's a really cool thing you said though, because you're also putting in work to keep that shit like
Yeah,
all
you're
lit. You know what I
flirting.
mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like all the time. Like I any chance I get, I'm gonna grab her butt, you know, or more. It's just always gonna happen, and it's pretty cool. I'm already slurring my words. My brother-in-law, I remember he had told me, he was like, you know, marriage isn't like a 50-50 thing. He was like, why would you want to be with somebody that just wants to put in half the attempt? He's like, it's 100% both ways. And so that's how I feel. I'm just like, yeah, if you know we're gonna keep that spark going, I'm gonna do everything I can to do it.
I'd also say that, you know, with your partner, you know, I don't know, observe what it'd be like to be them, you know, for a bit, and think about all the different stuff that you do in the day. You know, I think there was I can't remember what movie it was, but we use this quote all the time in my house because it's hilarious. It kind of shows you the differences between men and women. And the woman says to the man, she's like, I just, you know, I want you to sometimes like just want to do the dishes. And he goes, why would I want to do the dishes? You know? And she's like, because it helps me. It helps like the household, you know, like we're doing stuff together. And she's like, it's one less fucking thing that I have to like focus on. He's like, well, that's, you know, that's never going to happen. So we say that just kind of kidding around pretty often, but there are things like if you can offload a little bit of work or stress for your partner, especially when you have a baby and your wife gives you that like stare of death and she's just been there all day with the screaming baby and and you just come home and start playing with the kid and you're not listening to her and stuff like that, then you might want to say, hey, like, you want some time to maybe go hang out with your girlfriends or something? Like, I'll watch the kid, I'll watch the baby for, you know, you want to go hang out with your sister, something, you know, give them some sort of reprieve here and there. That stuff's really helpful.
Yeah. The big aspect of that, like, it just seems that there probably was, who knows, was there a time that you guys think you got a little too comfortable? Because that's what's something that happens when a lot of people get into, like, a lot of women say, you know, it seems that he was putting in a lot of work beforehand, before the relationship. And then a few years into the relationship, he stopped trying, right? Was there ever a point where you guys think you stopped trying or?
Probably.
Yeah,
I probably have.
I can't think of anything, but yeah, I mean.
All right, Mr. Fucking Perf. No, I'm joking.
Not at all.
Yeah.
No.
I think that, I mean, the main thing I think is just that you're super interested in each other.
Yeah.
And then, and there's a lot less work, you know, when people are like, oh, we had to really work at it or on it. That happens here and there. There's some miscommunication, but like, you kind of know the rules of the game. You know?
Bruh. But what you said right there, I think this is one thing that people be getting twisted about relationships. People don't realize that shit after a while, it's work. You know what I mean? Because I hear some people make it seem like it's supposed to be this, you know, everything's supposed to be right and perfect, and you know, and if things don't do this way, it wasn't meant to be.
It's like a total and complete flow.
It's not.
Right.
Like, it's so not. That was
Well, look at Andrew's situation, you know, having previously been married, his wife's previously been married, and there was a child in there as well, you know, his daughter. So it's like, okay, everything can be pretty damn good between him and Stephanie, but there's, you know, a whole nother scenario. There's a former husband, there's a former wife. Like it's just shit's complicated as it is. And then you start throwing all that into the mix, and there's a lot of complications. So it makes sense to say, yeah, we had to work through some stuff, because you got to learn how to communicate and learn what's out of bounds, what's fair game, you know, how are you supposed to act? How am I supposed to communicate with my ex? Because your mind wanders really crazy, you know, and there might not be anything between the two anymore, but we're dudes, and we're going to sit there and be like, well, I'd be hitting it still, you know?
Right. Yeah. But that open communication is like so crucial. So like, whatever, really, and again, this is because I am one shot in, but like not too long ago, like we were at a restaurant, and you know, the whole family's there, and my wife's ex-husband's brother was there. And right away, like, oh my God, like I finally, because like everyone's still friends on Facebook, so it's not that big of a deal that he was like, you know, hugging everybody, no big deal. But like, he's like, oh, I finally get to meet your son. And like he, you know, so Stephanie gave him to him. And
gave
I was,
Aurelius to.
yeah, gave Aurelius to the
Now you're like,
brother-in-law.
all right.
And I was like, hold on. Like, I've never met him. And it was kind of like a, you know, I kept my cool. It wasn't like I didn't make a scene or I didn't do anything. It was super cordial. He's a super nice guy, by the way. But afterwards, I was just like, hey, like, just want you to know, like, that, like, really, like, that messed with me. She's like, what do you mean? And so I explained it, and she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. So that sort of thing, like we've talked about in the past, previous episodes where, you know, being open for a dude is very difficult. But I'm just like, hey, like, I don't know, that made me feel weird. I didn't like it. Let's try not to do that again, because, you know, put yourself in my shoes. Like, it'd be so awkward if I gave it to my ex-sister-in-law, give him to my ex-sister-in-law. And so, yeah, it's really difficult. But, man, having that open line of communication is so important.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? I think I mentioned on my story the other day, and I had a poll for a bunch of dudes after we did the episode about guys opening up about stuff, right? And I did a poll. I was like, okay, so how many of you guys feel comfortable opening up to your partner? I think it was about 65-35. And then I asked, okay, so that was 65% felt comfortable, 35% didn't. And then asked how many of you guys feel that you should be able to, or you'd want to be able to feel that way. And then it was like 85-15, right? So one thing that was interesting, because I had a few DM conversations with some dudes that like disagreed. And their main disagreement was like, you should, like, guys should be able to be open about their emotions, but number one, they shouldn't be emotional when opening about their emotions. So that's actually something that I oddly enough agree with.
That's all relationships all the time. I think that's like an absolute, really good rule is if you're stirred up about something, that's not a great time to like dive into it.
Oh yeah.
You might want to, you know, let the other person know that you're frustrated about something, but to say like, I got to really think about it a lot more because I don't want to like blow up or.
Oh yeah.
But I was thinking about that as well in terms of like having a kid, like when you have your child and they do something wrong and you jump on them right away about it, they're super defensive and they're not really listening at that point. And sometimes if it's like a really young kid, they're crying and they're frustrated too. And I don't think they even get the message. So you say, hey, for now, if you go to your room and we'll talk about it, you know, later on that night, you talk about it. But I think same thing with a spouse or same thing with any relationship. Time seems to help a lot because I think as you zoom out a bit, you're like, why am I sweating it? She was just talking to like her ex-boyfriend or whatever. It's like, it's really not that big of a deal. And if I'm not worried about it, then this whole thing probably is probably not going to work well if I'm that jealous and that concerned. And this person has me think, like, why am I even thinking that way about this person?
Yeah, that's a big thing to analyze. That is a big thing to analyze right there. But exactly, like it is okay to open about the way you're feeling about something, but literally doing it while raising your voice or doing some shit like that, that can't fly, man and woman, but especially as a dude, you can't let that happen. Like you can't let your emotions be on your sleeve in that way.
I also think you shouldn't share everything either. You know, like there's like, you know, you'd be open, but I would say the reason why you're trying to be open is so that other problems don't happen. You know, and or you're trying to address a current situation. But just recognize that there can be stuff said if you say too much. That's just probably not helpful.
Yeah. An interesting thing about that is that, and I don't think that there's a problem with this, but I was having a conversation with a friend of mine about this, and it seems like it seems as men, when you have a problem, let's say you have a problem, and there's a lot behind it. Sometimes it might not be the best thing to open up to your partner about it, because generally there's an idea that as a dude, you should have a lot of things together already, especially within that realm of things that, like you mentioned, it might not be a good idea to share everything. Sometimes some things need to be kept, or some things need to be talked with other guys. Like it's like I feel more comfortable talking about certain things with other guys than I would ever feel with a partner or another woman. Just being perfectly honest, because it's just like if I bring something to the table, I already have the thing in the back of my head. Well, okay, this is how I'm solving it. I don't just bring up a problem and be like, that's the problem. I bring up the problem and I'm like, but this is how it's going to be handled.
Right.
But it's just, this is a current problem. You get what I'm saying?
I totally understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all, it can all be pretty complicated.
Yeah.
You want to get into reading some comments today, or should we just keep rolling with this topic?
Oh, that's right.
I can read some comments. That penis pump video, the comments in there is pretty funny. But, you know, I'm almost done with that Rational Male book. I don't know if some of you guys in the audience know Rollo Tomasi. You know, Rollo Tomasi is the author.
I looked at a bunch of his stuff after we talked.
We got to have him on. It'd be a really interesting conversation. Yeah, but if a lot of you guys don't know, Rollo Tomasi wrote this book, The Rational Male, and he also wrote a few other books, The Rational Male, Positive Masculinity, and then a few other, like a whole series of books. And there's some interesting things in there and things in that book that'll make people very uncomfortable, but also things that it's just like, some things are just like fact of the matter, or like generalities that you don't like to talk about or don't like to put forward.
I thought one of the things that was really interesting is not sharing like the number of partners that you've had previously.
Yeah.
That's really some interesting stuff. I think, you know, when you're married longer and stuff, I think maybe.
Yeah.
Because like.
Is that really going to change the way you look at your wife at that point?
No, not at all.
Well,
I mean,
it might. If it's like.
But like 187?
That might change.
What?
Right?
Yeah, it was in like a 3-year time span. You know, that's the problem is like you start to have a lot of judgment towards whether it's a lot or whether it's a little.
Yeah.
The number's never perfect. So it does make sense that that's not a thing that you share. It shouldn't matter at all. But of course, like everything kind of matters, right?
One interesting aspect of that book, and this is the thing that all right, this is from the book, yo. But I've been thinking about it. I'm just like, yeah, somewhat like when you look at things, it's somewhat hard to dispute. It's people refer to it as the sexual marketplace in the culture when people are single, right? And
your value in the marketplace and stuff. Yeah, I heard a bunch of that stuff.
Your value in the marketplace, and this is something that's I've been trying to like think about. Can you really poke holes in it? And you can, but when you think about generalities and the way people like hypergamy, which is the way people end up looking for mates. Women, statistically in general, end up dating and marrying men who are a little bit older than them, but also men who make more than them. And
sometimes taller as well, right? It's some sort of internal security thing or something.
Exactly. They tend to date up, right? And men don't really end up caring. They tend to usually just date down. Like, I think a quote I heard is like, a guy would date a chick from McDonald's, right? And he'd even marry a chick from McDonald's if he's attracted to her enough. but a woman probably wouldn't do the same.
And all your buddies would be like, bro, she's so hot.
Right?
That's all they would talk about. They wouldn't ask you anything about like what they do or what they're into or how like, are things going really well with you? Like that's not their question.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, man, she has huge tits. That's fucking awesome.
It's great, dude.
That's the way guys
Oh my
talk.
God.
The way guys think, right?
That's so true.
You're like,
Buddy,
score, give him a big high five.
Uh-huh.
If you're like, oh, you know, and the woman's, let's just say, you know, like maybe a 5 or a 6, and you're like, yeah, but she goes to MIT, like she's super cool. We have so much in common. This is the love of my life. This is amazing. The guy still, he might not gonna say anything, but he's like, meh.
And it sucks to hear, but it's kind of true.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I never thought about that.
Right?
A buddy of mine, like just after high school, was dating a chick that worked at Sonic Burger, and nobody gave a fuck because she was hot. Like nobody cared. That's so funny.
But this is the thing. This is the thing. All right, when
She's still working there.
where's this Sonic?
They have great shakes there, milkshakes.
Yeah,
I've never had their shakes.
Oh man,
That's-
they like.
I think I've seen the commercials for their shakes.
like
that's
one
all
of
they
their-
have though. They don't have good food.
Yeah.
No, their food's
Food's
shitty,
terrible.
but they switch up their shakes a lot.
Yeah, cool. Check it out. But okay, I'm gonna be quick on this point. But an interesting thing is like, okay, he mentions how as when guys are younger, they don't have the resources, right? 19, 20, 21, let's say you're in college or you're starting a business, you don't have money, you don't have resources.
I didn't have shit.
Right? So those guys generally find it harder to even find a woman to hook up with or whatever because they don't have resources at that point. And the women that are generally in that age group are typically dating men that are older with them who do have resources. But as dudes get older and they get things together, they, get life and things together, they start becoming more valuable. Also, they're still able to have kids for a long time. So they, at 30, 35, 40, their value from the time they were 25 has gone up. And they'll be able to date someone way younger. But generally speaking, because of the way men look at women as far as mates and the way women look at men, as women get older, he said that their sexual marketplace peak is around like 25 to 28 or whatever. And then like after that point, it's like as they get older, it doesn't really matter if they're making more money, etc. Because if a man is looking to potentially have a family or whatever, her value there in that marketplace is getting lower as she's getting older while his value is getting higher. So he's trying to encourage dudes to like not get married for a while and let your value get to where it should be before you end up getting with somebody, right? And I was thinking about it. I was just like, that's some hard shit to hear as a lot of women, if they do, because women have read that book, but a lot of women, if they read that book, it's fairly uncomfortable because it's like, with what you just heard there, it's uncomfortable, but is there really, when you look at the general population, is it wrong?
No, I don't think so. I think, each relationship is its own kind of individual thing.
Of course.
And there's men and women that will seek out somebody else to be a mate or partner, however you want to kind of word that. And it will be to their advantage. You know, like you don't want it to be a disadvantage.
Yeah.
So sometimes there are things that are like, there's kind of almost like, I guess they're kind of external factors of looks or money that play into it heavily. If I would just imagine if you're, I would imagine either, well, as a man, it wouldn't necessarily work out this way, but as a girl, I would imagine if you were dating a couple of people and you were seeing some different people, different weeks and throughout the months or something like that, and you had like 2 or 3 different people that you were seeing, if one person, made like $500,000 a year, I'm not saying that you would automatically side up with that person, but you're probably viewing that as like, this could be more comfortable. This could be more convenient. And it might work out that way for some men too, but I think a lot of guys would still be siding up with more of the looks than they would be of the financial situation.
And I mean, just in general, like that's like even women that make a good amount of money, a lot of them do still look for men who are making more. So like a guy who's making, let's just say a guy's making $80,000 and a woman's making $100,000 a year, he probably wouldn't even end up dating a woman that's making more than him statistically, just like most of the time.
Right.
I know there are a lot of individuals out there in the audience who are probably like, not in those situations, but we're just talking about generalities as far as hypergamy is concerned. And it's very interesting, but it is a very uncomfortable conversation.
It's really an interesting thing because meeting somebody in your 20s is way different than your 30s and way different than your 40s.
Mm-hmm.
If you meet somebody and you're in your 50s, as a male, I can't really speak from the other side, but as a male, if you're not pulling in some pretty good money, it's just going to be that much more difficult.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, not to hook up, I guess would be whatever. Like you don't really need much for that process probably, but when it comes to trying to find somebody else that you can be compatible with, the more that you make, the easier it's probably going to be.
Mm-hmm.
But being older, it's like you're hoping that somebody had like life experiences. You're hoping that they had some sort of job or they currently have some sort of job.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess if you're really good looking and you're holding on to that could be a factor. But these are the factors, they're these factors that people want to try to downplay and say like it doesn't matter much. But looks are huge, and to me, my wife looks just as beautiful as when I met her. To see her naked, I'm still like totally excited about it. Hey now. Every time it's, hey, like there's a hot naked chick in my bed, I get excited about it. And I heard Andrew say the same thing, seeing his wife like come out of the shower or something. He's like, yo,
I have to stop everything. But yeah, I'm on the same page. Like my wife, I tell her all the time, like, you're getting hotter every single day. Like you're not going the wrong way. Like it's not supposed to happen, but I don't know what's going on here.
You're like, could we contain this or something? I mean, slow it down a bit or something like that.
Yeah. Hey, that's one thing, man. Like people, when they get in relationships, they gotta not be comfortable. They gotta just not get comfortable, I guess, with themselves. Because like when your partner loves you and they love you through everything, people are like, oh, I can kind of loosen up, right? Men and women, okay, not just women. So they'll let themselves get out of shape a bit and whatever. But this is the thing, like as a man, men still want to be attracted to the woman that they're with, and women still want to be attracted to the men that they're with. So guys, you shouldn't be letting yourself gain all that weight either. Because I know some dudes, when they got into their relationships, they kind of just loosened up because they weren't doing anything anymore. So they're like, oh, okay, I got her, so now I can whatever, right? It's
Guys,
play in your favor.
also be open, but not so open that you like compromise. You compromise some of the things that the woman loves about you. We were in Mexico, and it was at like a resort and things like that. So there's a lot of different like activities and games and things to play and all this kind of stuff. There was I did yoga one day, which I don't normally do yoga, but I did yoga with my wife, and it was like fun and funny, and like all the girls pretty much made fun of me the whole time because I can't move. But we had a great time, and then the next day there was like swim aerobics, with this guy who's obviously homosexual, and I was just like, fuck it, I'll go with the flow. I don't fucking dance. I've never danced really hardly at all in my entire life.
Andy was probably killing that since she's like a swimmer already, right?
Yeah. She loved it. But the only person I've ever danced with is my wife. I did that at our wedding. That's it. So to kind of expose myself in this way was weird and uncomfortable, but it was fun, and she had fun. She got to see that I could like let my guard down, and it was definitely like awkward and weird. But I was also like swimming with 30 other women that are in bikinis, so it wasn't the worst decision I ever made.
How many other dudes do you think were there? I'm just curious.
Oh, there was none. Just me.
It's just you.
Just me.
All right, let's fucking go.
And I wish I could remember the guy's name, but the guy
Fernando.
that was, probably something like that. The guy that was running the class, he he made a big deal of it, and he had me like in the front of the class and all this shit. So it was awkward, but dudes, like, honestly, don't be afraid to just open up, try some different shit here and there. Don't.
Yeah.
I think I don't want to just say for men, but I think either way, you want people to, let loose a little bit here and there, or do something that's kind of, do something that's a little different. And
Spontaneous.
Then also, spontaneous. And then also, like, pay attention to what your partner likes. I think sometimes with women, I sometimes think that they don't understand how truly simple we are.
That's real.
Like, we are really, really simple. We like blowjobs. And a lot of men like some sort of lingerie, or just like even something cute or something shorter than normal, or any of that kind of shit. Like, we dress up like a schoolgirl and get some pigtails going, we're going to have the fucking time of our lives.
It's not very difficult. We're very simple, easy equations to solve.
And if you don't like that as a female, that's fine. But to do that here and there would be a big deal to your man, just like whatever it is that you're trying to get him to do. I don't even know, because I ain't paying attention.
The women in the audience are like, we're trying to get him to do something too.
Right.
I get it. Yeah. Hey.
But yeah, that one little thing that you do, that one night that you do it, that's all he's going to be thinking about for like the next 2 months.
Right.
Because that's what I still think about.
Yeah, it's better. Well, it's better to have it, the guy's mind on that than to have it wandering around about other women, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's in this coffee? Because I'm having a hard time with it.
Truth serum.
Okay, that makes
serum?
sense.
Now there's whiskey in there.
Well,
Risky.
There's a little bit of whiskey, and there was some heavy cream on top.
That's
whipped,
what it
whipped
is.
cream.
Heavy cream got me.
Mm-hmm.
Not used to all that fat.
Oh, you got poop?
No, I'm just joking.
You know what's funny? I was looking at this. Apparently, there's a study. There's a book I was reading, and it went over like the statistics of high testosterone males and cheating.
Oh wow!
It's like,
oh yeah.
It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. I was like, damn.
I want to say I think I've heard that about sexual assault cases as well, where the men that were committing the sexual assault crimes, their testosterone levels were like 4 times or something higher than normal. It's like, holy shit.
It's not surprising. Like, it's unfortunate, and I'm not saying it's okay, but it's not surprising. It does make sense. Just gotta have a little bit more self-control. Like, with great power comes great responsibility.
When you're a teenager, it's like, it's tough, man. When your levels start to crank through the roof, it's hard to concentrate on
all day, every day.
Yep. And you're like, maybe I can keep my backpack or my books in front of this so like everybody doesn't know what's going on.
That's why I was happy I played soccer, because I had these compression shorts.
Oh wow.
And
keep it all contained.
I wore compression shorts to school every day underneath my jeans, because like, bruh,
you don't know what's gonna happen.
Shit was tough. Yeah, every day. It was every day. Same classes.
Girl does a hair flip or something, and you're like, yeah.
Oh man,
But
That's the whole reason to go to school sometimes when you're a kid. You're like, yep, I'm going because I know she's going to be in my first period class. I'm going.
oh hell yeah.
I remember having that realization like after high school, just being like, fuck, like all we do is like try to go to like house parties and like meet up with chicks. And I'm like, dude, they used to be at the exact same place every fucking day.
Never talked
and
to
we
them
didn't
once.
do a damn thing. But just thinking like, damn, high school, like, or any school, but like they were all there.
Never even tried.
Nope. Didn't even look their
Here
way.
she comes, and there she goes again.
And I gotta go.
But tomorrow
Oh,
I'm going to tell her.
I'm gonna put her on notice.
Yeah, tomorrow she's going to know how I feel about her.
You guys want some comments?
Yeah, let's go through that penis pump video.
Okay. Well, this is just because it's early in the comment section.
Let's go through that penis pump.
This one's from Barbara. Young old lady here to support the channel. Great topic. I didn't know about pumping that muscle that way. You learn something new every day. Now I can't get the visual out of my head. I wish I could have shared the YouTube ad that came up after the segment ended.
Oh.
I don't know who knows what that was. Now it'll be all over my feeds. My honey's going to wonder why the heck I was looking at this. So it's funny. A lot of people were like, I promise this just came up automatically, or read this for or watching this for a friend.
Yeah.
That's always good stuff. I don't know if you have any comments over there.
A lot of times people will say that, like, women, they'll say their chemistry and stuff is complicated. But men's our bodies are fucking complicated too.
Yeah.
If you ever like listen to or hear any of the information surrounding, like when you listen to Leo talking about the penis pump, and when he explains like how you get an erection and stuff, you're like, whoa, like there's so much that goes into it. I had no idea. Pretty complex system down there.
It is. By the way, guys, if we're gonna have more content on this because we have a few people coming into the show, but if you guys want some deep dives, Leo and longevity is quite literally the penis enhancement master.
He's got amazing.
He really is. That's his.
He's the master of penis enlargement.
This is a good one. And Nsima pointed this one out from, I'll just say Young. Dry rub and watch the magic happen. You might get a few battle scars, but worth it.
Whoa.
God.
Building up some calluses.
Oh, God, dude.
You got to be careful down there.
You really do. You really do.
People just literally like just digging the just the content on just talking about shit that, you know, no other quote fitness podcast will talk about.
But hey, that shit is really working. Like, I thought it'd be BS, but I've noticed the blood flow to my dick.
It went from BBS to BBC.
Have you noticed?
Fuck you.
Have you noticed improved like sensitivity? Like even just like you're not really thinking about it, but you're like, oh, there's like, you know, because again, when you're a kid, those sensations are like kind of there a lot.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, I just jerked off. Like, fucking A, man. I guess I got to go do it again. Do you feel a little bit of that? You have like a little extra sensation than normal?
Yeah. And there's
That's
that
dope.
because there is more blood flow. Like I'm healthy. So there was like, there wasn't like a big issue there. But again, when you pump, like again, the first time, if you guys ever did we have a link for that shit?
Yeah, it's linked in the other video. I can link it here.
All right.
What's the website for the pump?
So it's a long one, but
Is it the LA pump thing?
No,
Joe
it's
Kaplan.
Dr. Joel
JoeKaplan.com.
And then we do have an actual like direct link for the stuff that we have.
Yeah. But when you stick your dick in that glass cylinder for the first time and you start pumping away and you engorge your dick with that,
And it starts to look angry.
it starts to look really angry because like it's like becoming like you're putting more blood in it than usually goes into it. So it gets substantially
Kind of like a superhero.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like a superhero goes from like a little dorky guy, right?
It's like the Captain America. He's like in the tube like this.
Oh my God.
That's like the dick. It's like, hello.
His voice is all deep and shit.
I'm putting a Captain America shield on my pump. That is it. We're
Stick a
doing
sticker on
that.
there.
Yep. That's what's going to happen.
But normally your dick's
man.
like, hello, everybody. How's it going?
Oh man.
Oh
yeah.
gosh. No,
That's just real.
yeah, it definitely does raise sensitivity. Here we go. I was doing it and you know, Stephanie walks in and I'm just like,
Okay, there we go. Nice.
I'm just like, hey, you ready for it to be like this all the time? And then she's like, it's already that big. And I'm like, quickly press the button to get rid of everything. Like, come over here. And then, that was it.
Tackler. Boom.
Yeah. You're not supposed to do that, but
You're not supposed to, yeah.
no, fuck it. It was worth it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it can't be dangerous.
No, it wasn't dangerous, but
Yeah.
I did notice that. I was like, wow, I can feel everything. This is awesome, but gotta do something else first.
It's funny though, guys. If you don't know what Andrew just mentioned, in the pump, there's this like because you're pumping, so there's this button you can press to let all the air out. So
Yeah,
that's
'cause
why
It's like the thing that you pull on the treadmill, like when disaster is about to happen, right?
Yeah.
You can hit this like release button.
Yeah, because some inferior pumps don't have that, and dudes can get jacked up because once you pump get all the air out, there's
Yeah.
only one way to do it, and that's just to try to like get some air in. But like if you go too hard, like you're gonna really hurt yourself.
For people that haven't heard us talk about the penis pump, for people that haven't heard Leo, for people that haven't seen any of this stuff, these things can be really effective.
Yeah.
And it's not just about, you know, trying to grow your dick bigger, but it's trying to get better sensation back and trying to maybe get back to the way you felt when you were younger. For some people.
Yeah. But we do know, like, we talk about nutrition and sleep and all that on this podcast all the time. One of the biggest things that's going to help your dick out is getting in better shape, getting in better cardiovascular shape, and just getting in better shape in general. Because, hey, This is real. You know, if you got some extra body fat in certain places, you might have a little bit of body fat down here, which might be hiding some of your dick.
Oh yeah,
Real talk.
making your inner penis bigger.
Yeah.
So
Best comment for sure though from Emmanuel. It's morphin time.
Nice.
I like that.
That's
I like
good.
that a lot.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Trying to find some more. I maybe switch to a different video, but
Mm.
I'll go back to the other penis video. Lots of penis talk though.
Hey,
People
man.
are into it.
I'm into it. It's helpful. It's very helpful. You know.
I think if people are being real, I think everybody's had issues before. Sometimes it might be from drinking. Sometimes it might be from training. Sometimes it might be from, not eating any fat. We've talked about that before. We just mentioned like how it would be helpful to get in better shape, but you might even want to be cautious with that because you can take that too far. If you're not eating enough calories, your body's not going to be like, hey, we should be reproducing.
Yeah, my dick didn't work in 2015 because that fucking contest prep.
And it probably took a long time to recover even from, it probably wasn't like you ate a cheeseburger afterwards and you were good.
Nah, it took like because I needed to put some body fat back on since I was show lean. But once I started being able to eat fat again, that's why I'm all about keep the fats in the diet. Don't go too low fat. But because once I got the fats in, by week 2, I was back in the game. But it did
I think
take
sometimes
me.
people don't hear, like some of the stuff we're saying. Like, how long did it take you?
Well, to feel normal, at least as in getting my libido back,
Right.
that shit took me like probably 4 or 5 months.
That is a long.
Yeah.
That is a long time.
Because I was eating like 30 grams of fat for cool 5 months, like 30 to 40 grams of fat. So that really like brought like I wish I got my test levels checked because that probably brought me down because my libido was non-existent.
Right.
The girl I was with at the time, I was not caring about sex at all. And caring about sex, that took a while to come back. It took like I said, 4 months. But my dick actually working, it took me a few weeks because I just ate a lot of fat.
Yeah, I had similar things happen with a bodybuilding show that I did too, and it sucks because you're like, the thing that I really like a lot is like right in front of me. This is what I love doing. This is like one of my fucking favorite things.
It's
this
my
is like,
imperative. It's my human goal.
yeah, and man, it really it's a soul crusher. Kind of makes you feel like not a man. Kind of like it can really mess with you more so than it just being like a silly, funny thing. It can be really, really devastating. Some people have it go on for months and months, and so this might be a way. A penis pump might be a way. There's probably other protocols that you can look into, but definitely follow Leo. He's got a lot of information about it.
Yeah, I was watching the video because he came on the podcast and he talked about the hanger.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Which I haven't gone to use a hanger yet, but he has a video going deep on bib hangers and pumps. Right? Bib hanger sounds like something wild, man. It's like that. That is work because
Yeah, I was
people be
gonna say that's a
fucking
workout,
hanging.
yeah.
They hang for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude, that's a lot.
Well, we're supposed to be pumping for like 40 minutes anyway.
Eventually,
right?
yeah, it'll be that long too. But
Jeez.
imagine
When
trying to do both.
is it Susan?
Susan Bratton?
Susan Bratton.
When is she on the show?
Let's double check.
January 10th, I believe.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
I think so.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, January 10th.
Yeah, just hopefully. I mean, what I hope happens is that it just brings more awareness, and people continue to learn more about themselves and learn more about what they like, what they don't like, and just how to like perform well, in something that they really enjoy. So I don't know why it's always been this like thing that's gotten to be so weird to talk about, but it is, right? Like, you're in school, and I think around 7th, 8th grade, you have health class, and the teacher says vagina and penis, and like, yeah. And still this day, like, somebody says that, and you're a little like, what's coming next? Like, where's this conversation going? But hopefully continue to be more open so that people can continue to learn how to fix certain issues that they might have, or even just how to have more fun, how to feel better.
Yeah, it'd be great if she brings them. I feel like she's probably going to bring a model in, as in a model of a.
Great.
Yeah, because that'd be interesting. I don't know if she will, but I just feel like this is going to turn into like a sex ed podcast.
A model would be
day,
helpful
it's
rather
gonna
than
be
using your actual own parts. that would get a little strange.
That would be weird.
Yeah, that's going to be a good episode.
We definitely wouldn't be able to be live on YouTube if she, you know.
No. Yeah. Do you think YouTube would shut that live? They'd probably shut that live
Yeah,
down.
no,
Yeah, for
absolutely.
sure.
Yeah, you can't show any kind of fun stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Good shit.
All right.
Want to take us on out of here, Andrew?
Sure thing. Thank you, everybody, for checking out today's episode. Everyone on the live feed, you guys are awesome. Thank you for everyone that liked it already. If you guys dug today's episode, please like the video if you didn't catch us live. And please follow the podcast at Mark Bell's Power Project on Instagram, at MB Power Project on TikTok and Twitter. My Instagram and Twitter is at I am Andrew Z. And Nsima, where you at?
My dudes, go pump your dicks at Nsima Inyang on Instagram and YouTube, at Nsima Inyang on TikTok and Twitter. Mark?
I want to invite anybody that wants to go and walk with me 5 a.m. behind McCooney in Davis. There is a arch of these like shovel things. I don't know who made it, but it's an interesting looking piece of art. I'll be there at 5 a.m. with a bunch of people, and we're going to do a run walk. And anyone is welcome. You can bring your dog. You can bring your kids. You can invite a friend, invite a family member. Just trying to get some exercise in before Christmas hits. What do we need to plug? We need to plug something?
Vertical, actually.
Vertical, yeah.
Vertical meals. You guys need to check them out because they've been providing us with some amazing meals from Stan Efferding. And they have a lot of variety in terms of the stuff they give.
Yeah, one of the ones I'm leaning into quite a bit is because I'm trying to keep the carbs down, is I'm leaning into the bison monster mash. I think it's called like Deluxe Light or something like that. And it has
like no side. I think there's like one that says no side.
Right. Yeah. It has this one. This one has spinach and it also has peppers in it. And I think maybe Chris Master John. I think one of the other people that we had on more recently, kind of talking keto, they all were kind of mentioning, getting some nutrients from vegetables and spinach and peppers. Peppers are like high in vitamin C and stuff like that. So obviously there's fiber in vegetables. So that one's my favorite. And just check them out. And a lot of the food is really, really good. If you get like regular Monster Mash, that shit is fucking fantastic. It's so good.
It's really weird. It's just Monster Mash, but they take it to a H&L, a whole new level, whole nother level. That's I don't know. Anyway, I'll remember it one of these days.
How many people have you seen at a powerlifting meet that have beef and rice?
Tons.
Yeah. Right? You see that. You see it everywhere.
Yeah.
Stan, like, he completely came in and changed the game. Powerlifters were, they still have like their M&Ms and shit like that with them at a powerlifting meet, but he changed the game. He helped a lot of lifters kind of focus in and hone in on better nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so head over to verticaldiet.com and check out, enter promo code Power Project, and you guys will receive free shipping. And if you order like a good amount, so like 16 for maybe like a week or two, you guys are going to get 2 free additional meals and a free cooler from Stan Efferding. Again, verticaldiet.com, links to them down in the description as well as the podcast show notes.
Guys, come meet me. I see like all the comments. People are like, I don't live in that state and this and that, and I see a lot of excuses, but I doubt that you're doing a whole lot at 5 a.m. unless your kids are really little. They wake up super early, but come and walk with me. I have it specifically designed a special way that anyone can join in. So even though I'm saying walk, run, you're not going to get like left in the dust. Mm-hmm. So I got a special way to do it, and I'd love to see y'all there. I'm at Mark Smelly Bell. Strength is never a weakness. Weakness never a strength. Catch y'all later. Bye.